Hey there, welcome back to Pickleball Daily. I'm Spencer, and today we're going to be going through the very first things you need to know before stepping onto the pickleball court. First, it's 44 feet long by 20 feet wide. When you're going to enter the court, you should have about 60 feet clearance lengthwise and 30 feet clearance widthwise. At the net, we have 34 inches to get over in the middle, but at either end, it gets up to 36 inches high. So you're gonna have higher percentage shooting down the middle. Next, let's talk about the serve. That's gonna be the first shot you're gonna wanna know when hitting pickleball. It can be underhand only. It can't be overhead or above your waistline here. When you serve though, you can either bounce it and serve it cross court beyond the kitchen, we'll get there, or you can hit it out of the air. When the serve comes back to you though, it needs to bounce. Not only as you hit the return of serve, but also hitting the ball coming back to you on the return. The bounce rule is bouncing the ball on both sides before we hit a volley, which is a shot that's gonna be out of the air. Serve and stay behind the line, wait for the ball to bounce in front of you, and then you can move up into the court. When you're returning the serve, you can return, wait for the ball to bounce in front of you, then run up, and any shot after that can be taken out of the air. Next, let's talk about the shots that we can choose for the third shot in pickleball. Serve first, return second. The third can either be a drive, which is a fast shot that's low to the net, or it can be a drop, which is something that you want to bounce into the kitchen. It's more patient that way. Or you can hit it above your opponents and try to lob it behind them. That's something that you're gonna try to get over their head and bounce behind the court. Kind of hard to do, low percentage, not recommended. Next, let's talk about the let. A let is when I'll serve the pickleball, it hits the net and still goes in. We still continue playing this serve today. In old rules, we would do a do-over, but now you gotta keep it up. Let's talk about the kitchen. The kitchen is this light zone here that's 7 feet from the net. I can't stand in this zone and hit a ball out of the air, a volley. I have to keep my feet behind this white line if I'm gonna go for a volley. I also need to remember that my momentum carrying me into the kitchen matters. Even if I have a great shot and I fall into the kitchen afterwards, it's a fault. A fault means that there's something that went wrong in the point, causing there to be a side out. A side out means that the serve is gonna go to the next person. It could be my partner, as a team gets 2 serves each side, or it could be the serve going to the opponent's side. And now our team's on defense. Next, let's talk about the dink. A dink is a shot where all 4 of our opponents are up here at the net, and we're gonna gently hit it back to them, trying to make it bounce into the kitchen. A dink is really a miniature shot. We're not trying to hit a lot of power or pace into it. We're trying to be consistent. There's a few things in pickleball that are confusing, like footwork. Let me see if I can break it down to be a little bit more simple for you. When we're moving into the court and we need to stop, we're going to execute a split step. That's when I take my feet from the middle of my body and split them out wider than my shoulders, stopping my momentum and getting low. That's gonna help me before the ball has been hit by my opponents to react to the ball coming to me. Be patient and split step early. The next footwork that can be kind of confusing is once we get up to the kitchen. We don't often want to be turning our hips and running after the ball to get to a dink. This is gonna take too much time and get us off balance. We need to shuffle step and act like a crab. This way, you're gonna always have your hips and shoulders pointed towards your opponent, and you should be making contact with the ball in front of you. Next, let's talk about a few archetypes of players that you might meet on the court for the first time. Most importantly is a banger. That's somebody who never wants to hit the ball soft and always tries to drive. That player can hit a lot of out balls or balls into the net. So when you're playing them, think about how many you're gonna let go behind you. Shoulder high, let it fly. Next, there's still a couple terms that we need to know on the pickleball court to keep safe. We don't want to get into the pickleball jar or the pickle jar, and that's when we get 11-0'd. We don't score any points and our opponents beat us, get to 11. That's getting pickled. But we also sometimes say pickle when a ball comes rolling through another team's court. Even if they're in the middle of the point, we need to scream pickle and let them know that they need to stop play so that they don't step on the ball and end up hurting themselves. Safety is the most important thing in pickleball, so I'm also going to tell you a last footwork step. That is never trying to run backwards like this when a ball gets put over your head. If somebody lobs you well, I want you to shuffle and go backwards like this, remembering the crab footwork from the kitchen. When you first start a game of pickleball, the score will be 0-0-2. That's really confusing. There's 3 numbers and we end with a 2. The first number is how many points you have. The second number is how many points your opponents have. And the third number is just a server indicator number. It's always going to be a 1 or a 2. We start with a 2 so that the team who starts serving in a game doesn't have an inherent advantage, and the team after they lose that serve will have a side out, and the serve will go to their opponents. For example, I serve that ball out on 0-0-2. Now my opponents are going to serve on their right side of the court on 0-0-1. That means they'll get 2 service opportunities, 1 for each of the 2 teammates. After they miss a serve on 0-0-1, like this, the serve is just going to be handed over to the partner. They don't switch sides. But after that, if we're over here on 0-0-2 after that missed serve and we score an ace, then I'm going to keep serving and switch sides with my partner. That's how we score points in pickleball. Only on your serve, and after you score a point, you have to switch sides and keep serving. After the game, and we get to 11 points, no matter if you got pickled, you're going to come up to the middle of the net and you're going to paddle tap your opponents and still say, good game, thanks for playing. Another reason to paddle tap might be after each point, when your partner or you do something really well. If that's a great shot, you say great shot and you give them a paddle tap. If they hit it into the net, you can still say great try and paddle tap them anyways. Paddle tapping is just a way to support your partners and your opponents at the end of the game. Don't paddle tap too hard though, because some players really care about the surface of their paddle and might be showing you the grip instead. That's all right, just paddle tap their grip. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps. Subscribe for more pickleball content on Pickleball Daily.